Don't call me when your man around, only when your friend is down. I'm just tryna pull your panties down. Bitch, you know I ain't playing around. Don't call me when your man around, only when your friend is down. I'm just tryna pull your panties down. Bitch, you know I ain't playing around.
Yeah, I ain't tryna be your main nigga. I can be your side nigga. Slide up in them thousands, then go look up in the sky with you. A different connection, I'm just tryna multiply with you. Top off of my coupe, I'm just tryna go and ride with you. I ain't playing no games with you. Tell me what you
We're just gonna go on right where we left off, and that was with bronzers. So over here we have my cream bronzers slash concealers that I just got in a dark shade to contour with. Here we have the e.l.f. Camo Concealer in the shade Rich Chocolate. We have the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, but this is the stick version. I don't know what shade this is in. It's not written on here. The number is 9602, if that helps at all. This I haven't tried yet. This is the Trey Steak. I have no idea. This was a gift. This is the LA Girl Pro Concealer in the shade Toast, I believe. Towards the front here we have my high-end bronzers, and toward the back we have my drugstore bronzers. So here we have the Hoola Benefit Bronzer. This is the original, well, limited edition. It's humongous. Here we have the GG Gorgeous, the 6 Scope Bronzer Duo, Turn and Extra. Haven't used that yet. Here we have the Too Faced. I got this in the wrong shade. It's the Dark Chocolate Soleil. That's what's getting these bronzers dirty, is that one, because it broke. This is the Kylie in the shade Toasty. Here we have the Fenty Beauty in the shade Private Island. Here we have the number 7 in the shade Golden Sand. Here we have my OG fave, the Butter Bronzer from Physicians Formula in the shade Deep Bronze. Here we have the e.l.f. bronzer in the shade Forever Sunkissed. Here I have 2 Wet n Wild bronzers, one in the shade Palm Beach Ready, one in the shade Ticket to Brazil. Here I have Bronze Please from L'Oreal in the shade La Terra. Here I have the Take Home the Bronze, and I don't know what shade this is in. Here is the Matte Bronzer by NYX in the shade Medium. Totally should have showed you guys this one with the high-end bronzers, but I totally forgot about it. It doesn't fit over there, so it just sits over here with the bronzing palettes. This is the Marc Jacobs Omega Bronzer in the shade Tantastic. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Cream Contour Kit in the shade Medium. This is the NYX Highlight and Contour Pro Palette in the shade, it doesn't have a shade, but yeah. This is the Contour and Blush Palette by BH. These are both by e.l.f. One is called the Bronzer Palette and one is called the Contour Palette. So here are the highlighters. Back here I have some of my highlighter palettes. Here I have drugstore highlighters, high-end highlighters, liquid or jelly highlighters. Here I have all my loose highlighters. So we're gonna start out with the jelly. Here I have the Master Chrome in Metallic Rose by Maybelline Jelly Highlighter. Here I have a sample of this is a Becca highlighter in the shade Opal. Here I have a NYX Liquid Illuminator One to Glow in the shade Gleam. Here I have a MAC Strobe Cream in the shade Pinklet. Here is a High Beam from Benefit in the shade Saintiny Pink. I have a NYX Jelly Highlight in the shade Luminous. And here I have two Farsali Jelly Highlighters. This one is in the shade Jelly Bean. Wait. Rose Gold. My bad. And this one is in the shade Glazed. I personally like the glazed one the most. Here, moving on to the high-end highlighters. This is the Anastasia Amrezy highlighter. I don't know if this has a shade because there's only one. Here is the Kylie highlighter in the shade Cheers Darling. Here is a limited edition I Love Sarahi X Dust of Colors highlighter in the shade Soulmate. Here is another one that came with the collection. This is the shade Bathe. Here we have some MAC Extra Dimension Skin Finish. This is in the shade Oh Darling. This one is in the shade Whisper of Guilt. I have a mini Becca, and this is in the shade Opal. So here I have the Wet n Wild highlighter powder in the shade Precious Petals. Here I have another one. These are all the drugstore highlighters. This one is in the shade Crown of My Canopy. Here I have a Master Chrome by Maybelline metallic highlighter in the shade Rose Gold Molten. I have this Revlon Skin Lights in the shade Daydream Glimmer. I have this Milani one in the shade Day Glow. I have this e.l.f. Baked eyeshadow that I use as a highlighter in the shade Enchanted. Here is a Physicians Formula Butter highlighter in the shade Rose Gold. And then I have another Physicians Formula Butter highlighter in the shade Champagne. I have this ColourPop Super Shot Cheek Matte in the shade Glow Up, I guess. And I have this little single highlighter. I don't know where this is from. This was a gift. On to the loose highlighters. We have the Wet n Wild I'm So Lit Loose highlighter. This is actually the first loose highlighter that I tried, and I mentioned it in my favorites video, and it also will be in an upcoming giveaway. This is what the color looks like. I also have another one in the shade Hustle and Glow, and that's what this one looks like. We have the Airspun Loose Face highlighter in the shade I guess it doesn't have a shade name. It's Nabella Noir highlighter. I don't think, does this have a shade name? I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that. Glow. There's only one shade of this, I believe. We have the Juvia's Placeless highlighter. So what she looks like in the shade Nefertiti. Here we have the Revolution loose highlight in the shade Rose Quartz. Here is the Jaclyn Hill highlighter in the shade Balm. Here's another Jaclyn Hill loose highlight in the shade Amped. Here are my palettes. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills palette, limited edition Nicole Guerrero Glow Kit. This actually came out in 2017, I believe, and they recently brought it back for a limited time. So get your hands on it while you can. The shades in here are beautiful. I would open it and show you guys, but mine is very beat up and broken. Maybe I'll leave a picture of it, what it's supposed to look like. But yes, I love this palette. Here I have the Revolution Sophia X highlighter palette. Here I have a I Heart Revolution Rose Gold Glow highlighter. I'm gonna open this one up for you guys. This is what she looks like. And lastly, we have this Milani palette. This is the Rose Glow palette. The shades are, the white is Pearl, the next one is Golden Quartz, and the last one is Rose Gold. In this next palette here, we have all my lippies. Right here I just have some baby lips, a mini Vaseline, a Wet n Wild watermelon lip scrub, an EOS balm, a sugar cookie, chapstick, a Carmex, things like that. And then over here I have my high-end lipsticks, and back here I have my drugstore lipsticks. Here I have my high-end liquid lipsticks. Here's some more high-end liquid lipsticks. Here are my drugstore liquid lipsticks, and here are all my glosses. So I'm just gonna kind of point out some of my favorites. So in here, one of my favorite lipsticks I would have to say would be Persistence by MAC. This is what she looks like. She's very used and abused. Here I keep pretty much all my Dust of Colors liquid lipsticks because I do have a few of them. This is what the regular packaging looks like, and these are the I Love Sarahi limited edition packaging. Over here I have some Anastasia liquid lips. I have a Kylie, this is in the shade Candy K. I have a Fenty, this is in the shade Uncensored. I have some Kat Von D, this is in the shade Ophelia. I apologize. That's pretty much it. Back here I have some Wet n Wild liquid lipsticks. This is in the shade Sonor Cool. I have an Elf. I have an Infallible, the chocolate collection. I have a liquid catsuit. Just a bunch of random I cannot say this. Anyways. I have some mini color pops. And then back here, my glosses. Of course, we gotta mention the Fenty Gloss Bomb. I'm almost out. I'm gonna need a new one pretty soon. This is in the shade Fenty Glow. I have another gloss bomb. This one is in the shade Diamond Milk. I have a Dust of Colors gloss. This is called Barely There. I think this is part of the I Love Sarahi limited edition collection. I have an Elf lip plumping gloss. I have a NYX butter gloss. I have this Vanilla Bean Noel from Bath and Body Works. If you know me, this is my favorite scent during Christmas time. I have these from Almay. And what else we got in here? I have two of these, a nude and a red from CoverGirl. That's pretty much it. Back here we have the drugstore lips. I have some unopened ones. And this is a Wet n Wild in the shade Red Velvet. I was obsessed with these lipsticks when I first got into makeup. Before I started buying high-end makeup, of course. This is an Elf lipstick in the shade. See that there? I'm not gonna try to pronounce that. This is an Almay lipstick in the shade Call Out. I have these crazy color ones from Broadway Colors. And I have this NYX butter lipstick. This drawer is where my primers and foundations are. I don't have very many primers, but we'll go through them, of course, and I'll go through my foundations. Over here, these are, I'm not going to go through these are just sample foundations of foundations that I want to get and I'm still trying out, because obviously foundations are expensive, so I don't want to buy a foundation that I'm not going to like, that doesn't complement my skin well. So I do purchase a sample. Sometimes I get another sample and try it again because I'll forget how it worked on me, and if I like it, then I'll decide to purchase it or not. Obviously I don't need any more foundations, but I'm a makeup lover. I'm addicted. I always have to buy new foundations, highlighters, bronzers, etc. It's a problem, I know. So we're gonna go through primers first. Here I have a mini sample of the Photo Finish primer. Most of these samples I didn't purchase. I got them as like the birthday gifts. Here I have the Wet n Wild matte face primer. I still haven't tried this out yet. I'm still wanting to do a full face of Wet n Wild, so the Wet n Wild products that I haven't tried out yet, I don't want to use them until I film the video, so be looking for that. Here I have the e.l.f. matte putty primer. Here I have the poreless putty primer. And I just realized this was in the wrong spot. It's supposed to be back here with the high-end primers. Here I have a Becca Ever Matte Poreless Primer. I have the Versali Skin Tune Blur. Here is the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Soft Matte. This was the first primer they came out with. I do want to purchase the matte and the luminous primer. Here I have a jumbo of the Professionals by Benefit. And here's a Unicorn Glow Longwear Primer. Now going through foundations, these are the drugstore and these are the high-end. Guess I'll start over here. This is the NYX Born to Glow foundation in the shade Medium Olive. Here we have the e.l.f. foundation in the shade Cashew. Here is the Maybelline Dream Urban Cover in the shade Classic Ivory. Here is one of my favorite drugstore foundations, the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear foundation in the shade 485. Here is another NYX foundation, the Can't Stop Won't Stop in the shade Medium Olive. Here is the Superstay Full Coverage in the shade Sun Beige. Here is the Dream Radiant Liquid Foundation in the shade Natural Beige. Here is the Milani Conceal Imperfect 2-in-1 Foundation and Concealer in the shade Natural Beige. Here's the LA Girl Pro Matte in the shade Light Tan. Here's the CoverGirl True Blend Matte Made Foundation in the shade Warm Nude. Here we have the Infallible Pro Matte in the shade Fresh Beige. Here is the Fit Me the Matte Poreless in the shade Sun Beige. Here I have the Wet n Wild Stick Foundation in the shade Classic Beige. Here I have two of the Physicians Formula. This was the first ever drugstore foundation that I was so obsessed with. I haven't tried it out in quite a while, but I do think that I should get back into it because it was a favorite. I do have these in two shades because your girl gets really dark in the summer whenever I decide to go out in the sun. So I just got a lighter shade for the winter, a darker shade for the summer if I need to mix the two. So yeah, these are in these shades. On the left we have DN3, and on the right we have MW2. Here I have the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation. I have it in the shade Amber Beige, and it's a little too pinky of an undertone for me, so I got it in the shade Golden Beige. It is a little light, so I will mix the two. Moving on to high-end, I have the NARS foundation. This was the first foundation that I purchased in Sephora. This is my first Sephora purchase, and I was dark, so I got the dark shade. Now that I'm lighter, I can use the lighter shade. If I get more tan, I can mix the two. But I absolutely love this foundation. I have oily skin, and this isn't a matte foundation, but it complements my skin very well. And the one on the left is in the shade Barcelona, and the one on the right is in the shade Maria. Here I have the Clinique Beyond Perfect foundation. This is in the shade WN38. Here I have the MAC Studio Fix. This one is a little tan for me, but I'm fine with looking a little tan some days. This is in the shade NC30. This is the Huda Beauty foundation. This is probably my favorite high-end foundation. I haven't used it in a while because it is way too dark for me now, but this has to be my favorite. This is a matte finish, so if you don't like a matte finish, then this probably won't be for you. But if you enjoy a matte finish, then I definitely recommend this foundation. It does have a strong fragrance smell, but it doesn't bother me. This is in the shade Brown Sugar. It has to be one of my favorites. This is the Juvia's Place I Am Magic Velvet Matte Foundation. When I first got this, I was very scared because I put it on and my face was orange. But once I put my concealer, set it, used my bronzer, it blended in with my skin. Amazing. It made me look amazing. So this has to be one of my favorites as well. And this is in the shade Aruba. Here I have the Fenty Beauty foundation in the shade 290. Here is the Marc Jacobs foundation in the shade Honey Medium. I'm almost out of this foundation and I actually really enjoyed it, so I'm definitely gonna have to repurchase this. This foundation, I want to say, is around $50 or almost $50, so it is expensive, but the packaging is very heavy and bougie, so I mean, I think it's worth it personally. Here I have the Hourglass Stick foundation in the shade Warm Ivory. I do want to purchase the liquid version of this, and I will let you guys know how it works. Here I have the Anastasia Beverly Hills Stick foundation in the shade Amber. As you can tell by the sticker, the shade is dark, so I do not use this. It kind of just sits in here for fun. I have the Beauty Blender foundation in the shade 3.60. So I do want to say that on the high-end side, my favorite foundations have to be the MAC, the Huda, the NARS, the Juvia's, and maybe the Marc Jacobs. Those are definitely, I would definitely recommend all of those to my clients or my friends. Drugstore, on the drugstore end, I have recommended the Physicians Formula foundations to some of my friends and they loved it. The Fit Me I enjoy, but I would still have to say that the Infallible is my favorite from the drugstore. Moving on to the brows, this drawer is pretty sad. I just have some Anastasia pomades. I have these shades Chocolate. I have two in the shade Chocolate. That's the shade I use. I have one in the shade Ebony whenever I had black hair. I have this one in the shade, ooh, throwing stuff around. I have this one from e.l.f. in the shade Medium Brown. I have this ColourPop one that I use for my blondes or my light brunettes. This is the ColourPop in the shade Honey Blonde. That's what she looks like in there. Over here I just have my Makeup Forever steel palette that I use to mix my foundations. I have my eyelash applicator from Sephora's collection. I have these tweezers that I got from Dollar General. Here I have my Anastasia Beverly Hills Clear Brow Gel. I have my e.l.f. Brow Gel. I have my curling iron from Japanesque. Some scissors that I got. Another eyelash curler. I don't know where this one is from, to be honest. And this brow pencil from NYX in the shade Ash Brown. I don't like pencils. I thought I would try it out, but it's a no-go. Here I have the $1 billion brow gel. Another pair of tweezers. These are a little bit different. So that's what's in there. Here I just have all of my hair products, bobby pins, hair my wig gel, hairbrush, heat protectant, dry shampoo, clips, my headband, my round brush, curling iron straighteners, things like that. And that is it for this drawer. We have finally come to an end for this series. I hope you guys enjoyed. Comment down below what your favorite products were. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.